Hello guys, I am Mr. Bitter and I am here with founder and CEO of Major League Gaming, Sundance, D. Giovanni. Sundance, how are you? Thank you for joining us.
I'm doing well, How are you doing?
I am fantastic, man. I'm happy to be talking to you. I just want to ask you a few quick questions about MLG and about the future, and then we'll let you go because I know you're a very busy man.
All right.
First up, I just would like to get a little bit of history. Could you tell us about how MLG came to be?
Well, MLG was kind of born out of this vision and this dream, this idea that the communities within gaming and the people who competed within gaming, had enough interest and enough love for the activity that if you built something, they would come to borrow the line for Field of Dreams. And then if the infrastructure were there, that it could grow and it could scale. And so really what it was one year my partner and I essentially looked around and said, what are we going to do next with ourselves? And I'd always played video games, and my first job that I ever had was in an arcade running tournaments and hustling people at darts and stuff. So it's just we naturally landed on this when we saw the landscape and we saw what was happening, and we looked at what was happening in the PC world already. So we tried to build a sports media and entertainment property around competitive gaming, starting with consoles first and then eventually growing and expanding, and that's led us to where we are now.
That's awesome, Sundance. And you guys have done a fantastic job. Let's be completely frank. You are the leader in the space right now. You are the biggest and the best when it comes to hosting amazing esports events. And you've really been leading the charge in terms of breaking this whole esports industry into the mainstream. Do you have a secret to being number one?
No, I don't. Well, number one, I appreciate that. I mean, I appreciate the fact that people would say that about us. We try and push ourselves. We challenge ourselves to do better at the things that we do each time out, and to continue to grow. I mean, we are about trying to propel this forward and trying to leave something behind that's greater than what was here when we first started. So there's no real secret to it. I think there are a lot of great organizations out there, and I think there are a lot of people doing good things. But we just, this is all we do. There's nothing else that we're involved in, as a business. Major League Gaming is 100% about competitive gaming and about creating a platform not only for the professional players and for the community that wants to watch them or observe them play, but also for the players who just want to get better and be able to compete on their own level and enjoy themselves. So I think the only secret, if there is, it's not even really a secret, it's just that we are incredibly motivated and competitive within our own organization to beat whatever we've done most recently, to always be improving and always be learning.
Okay. Most recently, MLG has been experimenting a little bit with the pay-per-view model. Can you tell us why you feel that the pay-per-view model is important for the growth of the industry, and how has that experiment played out?
Well, it's one thing for me and you and for people who work in the industry and love the industry to say, hey, it's awesome, it's fantastic, you got to check it out. But if there's this amazing thing that happens when you're out in the marketplace selling to people or talking to people about a platform that maybe doesn't make sense to them. Right. What they'll ask you about some key behaviors of the audience, right, for your activity, right? Do you have the ability to monetize them direct to consumer? What are their viewing habits? What are their spending habits? How long are they engaged? And so, in order to give people a good three-dimensional picture of what the audience and what the opportunity size actually is within the esports or competitive gaming scene, the ability to pay for the experience is actually more important than people may have realized. Right, if you look at something like, let's use UFC as an example, or even professional wrestling, right? I mean, although, professional or not, whatever, it's an entertainment platform, so it's valid.
Man, I was a WWF fan for years.
Well, there's good reason. It's a great product. It's a fantastic product, right? I mean, it's opera for our generation. But they have a pay-per-view business which is massive in scale. And because of that pay-per-view business, it drives a lot of different areas within the organization's ability to scale and to grow and to create revenue. What it means is that people care about wrestling enough to pay 50 or 60 bucks a clip. Same with UFC. So with Major League Gaming, the question was, a lot of times that we would face was, well, is this real? Is it going to be around? Can you show any user or consumer behavioral patterns that prove that this engagement isn't temporary? And I realized that one of the easiest ways to show that was to actually turn on a pay-per-view model for a while and show that we could create some real direct-to-consumer revenue there. And we did, and we got some heat for it. And again, I understand that it's deserved in some ways and maybe a little overboard in others. But the point is, it worked. It worked to such an extent that we generated enough interest from the consumers that they bought, and they came back and bought more than once. Right? It's not just that we did it once and it may have been a flash in the pan. So what that's done is that's powered our ability to go and make other deals in other places, and it's really strengthened our business. And I think what people don't remember, though, is that we did the first pay-per-view we ever did was about 6 years ago, just around Halo. And so it's not something new to us. It's just something that we finally had the ability to create scale around. And it's worked, and it's opened up some opportunities. Now we're going to start playing with freemium a little bit more, and I think that you'll see less pay-per-view out of us, and that one day maybe we scale it out altogether. But again, if it works, that's something that proves a lot to people. It proves the strength of the business. It proves the loyalty of the audience. And so it was something that we had to do at the time, and it's worked out really well for us. And I'm proud that we offer a good enough product that people bought it. I'm proud that people were satisfied with their purchases and that we're able to get them people to be repeat buyers. But I'm even happier that now we're able to open that stuff up and go to freemium for folks so they can anybody can tune in again and get away from having a paywall on certain things.
As organizers, what can we do to make the consumer feel like it's worth it to invest in something?
Well, I think number one is deliver a good show, right? I mean, no matter what, the hardcore audience is going to be with you. The early adopting audience is going to go with you on these things a lot of the time, just because they have faith that they believe in something, they want to support it because they want to see it grow. But what about the person who's walking along, on the street and sees a BarCraft and goes inside, and it's the first time they're experiencing this? You got to knock it out of the box. You got to have a great show. You got to have good matches. You got to have great casting. You got to have great ambiance. The whole thing has got to just be top level, because otherwise they're going to say, well, all right, fine, I'm going to go get my drink somewhere else, and I'm not going to explore, right? But what we've seen is that, and it was really great, and I think all the organizers have gotten really good at this lately, is that putting on a good show in the room leads to a great show on the broadcast side, the potential for it at least. So, being able to do things well in that room and being able to capture and create these moments and these aha, oh my God, did you see that? There's more and more of that because the players are great, the games are great, the community is great, the energy is great. And so we're getting there. I think all organizers need to remember that it starts with the game. Right? It starts with how you present the game. It starts with the people playing the game. As long as you do those things justice and you present it well, you're going to have a shot. If you miss those things, if you mess that up, then you're not even your hardcore audience is going to want to come along. So it's just about remembering that and delivering quality top to bottom, and again, listening to the players, listening to the community, and trying to take all the suggestions that come in and blend them when you're able to. So I think we all just need to remember who we work for, and who we work for is the community, and it's for the fans of what we do. It's also for the publishers of the games, making them look good, and for the people who haven't even found us yet. Because the audience right now, while it's amazing and it's growing incredibly, it's nowhere near as big as it's going to be in the future.
That's always cool to hear, Sundance. Let's take a short step back and say there's a lot of MLG going on. What is your next big event, and why should people tune into it?
Well, we've got the Summer StarCraft 2 Arena. It's going to be July 20th and 22nd. That's, of course, the precursor to the Summer Championship, August 24th to 26th in Raleigh. And so for StarCraft fans, the format, this open qualifier this time, people are able to play their way in. It gives you a leg up going into the championship. We've got some interesting things we're going to be doing, making a couple of changes I think people are going to really like in terms of how those brackets flow. But again, the reason to tune in is we're for this one, it'll be some people's first chance to see an arena without having to pay for it. So you get to see what some people have been talking about, unless of course you found those Russian restreams, which I don't blame you. So it's just an opportunity to tune in to see top level play, best players in the world, getting ready for the next event that we have, the next week championship event. And again, I think one of the things I suggest for anybody who hasn't seen this stuff or hasn't seen a lot of it is these are a great way to kind of expand it out. It's a great way to expand your horizons and experience more. It's just to see how the game's played at a high level. And even if you don't necessarily find it all that entertaining or engaging, there's something for people to learn in analyzing that gameplay and talking to people about it, asking questions. So at least I know I do. And I ask a lot of questions now about why somebody's doing a particular strategy. But again, it's fun. It's a good experience, and people can get together and enjoy themselves.
Sundance, recent years have shown us some amazing growth within esports. What has to happen for StarCraft 2 and for esports as a whole to continue growing as we look forward to the future?
Well, I think we need organizers, we need the folks who throw events, and the community to continue to work as hard as they have been. Just because we've seen a good amount of growth this year, the past couple of years, doesn't mean we can let off at all. We have to continue to improve, to continue to think about our product that we offer and how to make it more accessible, and I think over time, what will end up happening is that eventually we'll just be at a place where, it'll be one of those things where, like, it was the fastest overnight success story ever, where suddenly it's just established and it's grown to a point where it's irrefutable. It's not going anywhere. But we're not there yet. I don't think that the landscape that you see today is what it's going to be in a couple of years. I don't know if there'll be more organizers or fewer organizers, but there may be new folks who come into the mix. Who knows? But the point is for the ones who want to make it through, we need to understand that it's still a building phase. There's no victory this year. There's no victory in 2013 in terms of being able to get to a place where you can relax and let off the gas a little bit. We have to continue to deliver an amazing product to the fans we currently have, as well as thinking about innovative ways to bring new people in. And I think everybody's doing what they can do, and everybody's thinking about their own unique problems that they may have as a business or an organization. But hopefully, we're not taking our eyes off the bigger picture, right? We're not taking our eyes off the picture of what's important to the players, to the community, the fans at home, and to the publishing partners that we have. And it's a lot to juggle. This is not a simple space to operate in. But if you can balance those things out and still be doing well for yourself as a business, then I think you're in a good place. And I think that's what we all need to be focused on.
You keep saying bigger, and you keep saying future, and you keep looking forward, Sundance. So my final question for you is, at the end game, how big is esports going to get?
I don't see any reason why it can't get to the level where you would say it's comparable to traditional sport, meaning football, European football, or American football even, based on the install base of people who play games. I think we have a unique advantage. We can operate globally. The MLG event can reach up to 175 countries, live broadcast via the internet. Now, that scale is something that no other competitive activity, no other sport was able to kind of grow into. It was something that had to be built up over time, and most of them are using traditional delivery mechanisms to power that, such as TV. We've got some advantages. We're built for a new generation. We're built in a way that's stickier, that's more involved, and it's participatory, right? How many people running out and playing basketball or baseball or football, and then going to watch it? And the answer is, a significant number, but nowhere near as many people who are watching competitive gaming or esports, because in esports, almost everyone who watches also plays. So that's an incredibly high engagement level. That's a great participatory point that a lot of other sports just can't boast. So I think that the future for esports is, I don't want to say limitless, but it's pretty close. I think the level and the scale that we can get to is going to be tremendous, but it's not going to happen overnight. That we're talking about, this is still in the building phase, and I think we've got years and years of growth ahead of us, and then decades and decades to reach our full potential. But I think that what you're seeing now is that this is at a level and a scale of acceptance within the industry, meaning the gaming industry, and within the media businesses that are out there that are important, where we have a chance, we have a platform, we have an avenue towards that for the first time ever, I believe. So it's just up to us, the organizers, not to screw it up. It's up to the players to continue providing us with great entertainment, and it's up to the community to, go where they want to go, to see, to support the organizations that they believe in, and to, make their voice heard, not just within the community, but also outside the community, but to do it in a positive manner. So I don't know. I mean, I've obviously been drinking the Kool-Aid for a long time now, but I think that we have limitless potential in front of us if executed properly.
Thank you so much for your time, Sundance. I want to give you one final chance to just to run the mic. Any final shout-outs, plugs, anything you would like to say? The whole world is listening.
Well, I just want to thank everybody, obviously, who tunes into the MLG events. And July 20th to 22nd is that StarCraft Arena that's going to be open for everybody. And I just want to thank you, guys like yourself, the guys who work hard behind the scenes, who have passion for this and love this as much as I do. I don't know if people realize how hard you actually work. And I think it's challenging at times. But again, I thank you guys, and I thank the fans, and I thank everybody who's a part of the communities that we serve. Because without you, we'd just be showing up to an empty room. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Sundance. Ladies and gentlemen, Sundance DiGiovanni, founder and CEO of Major League Gaming. Take it easy, Sonny.
All right. Thanks a lot.